And you can see the gusts of wind, the strips of wind, even in the second 500. Although look at the first 500, how placid and quiet it is. There's a nice set of homes along the left side of the course. The left side of the course is the north side of the course, and San Francisco is to the left, and San Jose is to the right. But you can see that first 500 is really a glassy pond right now, and it's deceptive of what the wind is doing, because when you hit some of those cutout openings in the course in the second 500, you start to see those gust lines, and then when you reach the third 500, it's a wide open diamond, and you get all that the wind has to offer. And then finally, when you get into the last 400 meters, the course narrows again, and it is pretty much like the second 500 in terms of crosswind. But certainly, if you want to use your best rowing to get going, that first 500 gives you that opportunity in almost any weather conditions. So the final results of that last race were a 19-second victory by Davis over Santa Clara. Once again, we're going to race number 78, a men's varsity 8, between Oregon State in lane 1 and Gonzaga University from Spokane, Washington in lane 2. So we've got the Oregon State Beavers from Oregon against Spokane. Gonzaga's Spokane. Spokane's Gonzaga. A couple of Northwest crews that have come down here to California to go at each other. Yesterday, Oregon State's varsity men lost to Trinity in the first morning race, and then defeated George Washington University in the afternoon race. So they entered today's competition 1-1. By contrast, Gonzaga defeated UC Davis, whom you just saw defeat Santa Clara, but that was in the morning, and Gonzaga did not row in the afternoon. So Gonzaga is 1-0, having rowed only one race in the last 24 hours. Oregon State is 1-1, having rowed 2 races. How that will play out, have no idea. Just as I told you how placid and nice it is out at the start, and it does look that way, I'm told they're having alignment problems because of the crosswind. So look for yourself and take what I say with a grain of salt. But we will be starting this very quickly, and we have a start, and you'll very shortly see a crew moving there on the left, and there it is. And that crew would be the Gonzaga crew on your left, and a little later on we'll pick up Oregon State Beavers on the right. The Beavers row on the Willamette River, which runs right through Corvallis, and it runs north. It's one of the fewer rivers that run from south to north, as opposed from east-west or west-east or north-to-south. But it's a very nice river, meandering through the Oregon country land, and Oregon State Beavers have rowed on that river for a very, very long time, well before the midpoint of the last century. But now it's 2007, it's Sunday, and they've got to figure out how to get past Gonzaga, if they can. All right, they're disappearing behind the bridge and just about ready to cross the 500-meter mark. The crews are now through the 500-meter mark. After this race is over, we will be covering 10 more races, and that will wrap up our coverage of 89 races in a day and a half, which is certainly a lot of racing. Oh, I'm sorry, we do have a split. We have Oregon State in the lead in the right-hand lane, 128.2 to 130.1. If you recall, that compares to 125s that Washington and Stanford were posting. But Oregon State with a 1.9 second lead over Gonzaga. And it looks, as they come toward the bridge, it looks like Oregon State on the right is maintaining its lead. We'll try to pick up a stroke rate. Stroke rate of 33 for Oregon State. 35 for Gonzaga on the left, as they both now are going through the 1,000-meter mark. As the crews now come through the middle of the course and approach the last 500, we still put Oregon State in the lead. They were up 4 seconds at the 1,000, which is a little over a boat length. I'm not sure they've maintained that, but it may just be the angle. We'll wait for the 1,500-meter report. But it clearly is still Oregon State in the lead with now 500 meters to go in this men's Varsity 8, event number 78. A good picture of two fine crews going at each other. Oregon State on the right, Gonzaga on the left, and indeed Gonzaga does appear to have overlapped Oregon State, and in fact in the third 500 Gonzaga had a faster split than Oregon State, so Gonzaga is moving. They were still linked down and may not have enough room, even if they can keep that charge up, to go through Oregon State with about 200 meters to go. Lovely, beautiful shot of these two crews as they now enter the camera range from here in the hotel, and we get our Skycam shot as they go through. But Oregon State, having its way in this last few strokes, seems to have blunted the attack of Gonzaga and is now pulling away to a little open water lead. And you have it there as they approach the finish line. Oregon State finishes. Gonzaga across the line. Oregon State defeating Gonzaga in the men's Varsity 8. So Oregon State ends up with 2 wins and 1 loss, a very credible showing, and Gonzaga 1 win, 1 loss.